we're back, and you're watching Surviving Sin City, and I've got Jeremy Dunn with me now from Grinidon. How are you, Jeremy?
I'm doing great. Very well, thanks.
And so we had to check back in to see how you're coming along with getting the book done.
Yeah, doing well. We finished the first issue. We have the second issue near complete, and we're actually doing a Kickstarter for the first three and to put them in a volume together. So got a lot of fun things on there, posters and all kinds of goodies.
And so we actually know each other because our regular office, not our studio that we're using on Thursdays, but our office are right next door to each other.
Yeah.
And so when I look in there, it's just, you've got the coolest stuff on the walls in there, and I'm just like, oh, it's just like, I've always kind of liked comic books, and I love drawing. So like, as a child, I kind of, wanted my own comic book. So kind of peek in and see what it's like in there.
It's a lot of fun. It's great when you can walk in and, do what you love, but it's also so hard to do that. It's one of those things where art is not the easiest field to get into, but when I see the art being done by the girls at work, like you've seen it, it's just so inspiring. Like I literally have it in front of me while I'm working.
We had Jasmine on the show, and she's one of your designers, artists, right?
Yeah. She was on there, and Kat and Laura. So have a great team, great personalities, and that makes it a lot more fun.
And so who brings which element, and which element would you be?
I created the story and the characters, and I do the writing, the scripting. I handle a lot of the business end, which I hate doing. I'd rather just write, but slowly trying to get out of that. I also do paneling, but I draw in stick figures since I am not a great artist. So my better artists than I am take my happy smiling stick figures, or frowning sometimes depending on the situation, and turn them into just these amazing works of art. And we'll work kind of on 4 pages simultaneously. I'll be scripting and paneling. Jasmine will be drawing and sketching. Kat will be doing background colors, and Laura will be doing character colors. So it's cool because you can just look around and see the whole spectrum at once.
Is there anyone else in Vegas doing anything close to this?
Not that I know of. Yeah, we've met with a lot of local artists and comic shops, and they've been real impressed with our work. We were just at a grand opening for Celestial Comics recently, and he gave us a nice little introduction, which is very cool, very motivating. And
so what about Comic-Con? Have you been to Comic-Con?
Not yet. That's we'd like to get our stuff in print. It's not cheap to do that, so that's you want to have the budget and not bleed yourself before you get to the point. So anyone who's watching, if you're interested in checking us out, we're on Kickstarter. You can find our information on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr, or just go to grinidon.com. So yeah.
And so with the Kickstarter, how long have you been doing that?
About a little under 3 weeks. So
what do you think of it?
It's interesting. I really like
it's time intensive, huh?
It is. Yeah. Our video turned out, it's fun to watch. We did like sort of these, it's a little more cartoonish. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and the music it's a different tone to it, which is funny because the books are a tad dark, but they're not brutal. It's definitely a story about people, and when you have a fantasy world in medieval time, not everyone's going to be holding hands and singing all the time.
So what do they do there?
Well, in our world we have, it's kind of neat because you sort of get to see the beginning of a realm. These people have left their old homeland, moved to this new one to escape war and persecution, but then ended up doing the same thing with themselves. So now you have essentially 3 major kingdoms, and the north is coming to attack the south, try to end them once and for all. And that's where our story begins. And I like it because you get to see the grand characters, the people who are in power and in all these interesting positions and guilds and whatever. And then through the group where most of the adventuring takes place, you get the human element, the heart element of it. And it's people that anyone can relate to.
So does this take place on another planet?
I guess so. It's a fictional world. No spacesuits though.
So are you going to turn it into a cartoon?
I would love to. It would be cool. I'd like to see, there's so many opportunities, and being a graphic novel, it's visual, and we are in a time of where graphic novels are being made into movies all the time, or you have your Harry Potters and Game of Thrones. People are lining up to make shows, so I don't have to fully explain how everything works and what it looks like. I can just say there it is.
I know I had to make sure there were plenty of pictures in my book too.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've got to cut to a break, but thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
And stay tuned because we have more. You're watching Surviving Sin City.